Good morning. The South Korean government convened on tightening air security following the discovery of 2 unmanned spy drones believed to be from North Korea. Nearly 1 million are cleared to return home from a massive evacuation following a tsunami alarm triggered by the 8.2 magnitude earthquake off the coast of northern Chile. The gateway to the capital is the Incheon International Airport, where 40 million step through its doors annually. See the infrastructure that greets Korea's guests. A quick fix on your hair is just what the doctor ordered for spring. Change up your style with some simple tips on K-Style on Korea Today, Thursday, April 3rd, 2014.
From Arirang News, this is Korea Today.
And a good Thursday morning. Thank you for joining us on Korea Today. I'm Kim Young alongside Kim Min-jung and Jinju.
Good morning. We start with news that's just in. Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe has signed the so-called EC bill that would mandate the dual use of EC and C of Japan in school textbooks.
That's right. This was one of the campaign pledges made by the governor to Korean voters, but there have been concerns that Japanese politicians might lobby against the move, but this new legislation will now take effect on July 1st.
And all it needed was that one final signature.
That's right.
And they got it. But first, we move to our top story this morning. In the second meeting of its kind this week, the government held an emergency National Security Council Standing Committee meeting on Wednesday evening on tightening air surveillance against unmanned spy activities. This comes after evidence was discovered strongly suggesting the wreckage of 2 drones recently found near the border in Paju and on Baekneungdo Island were from North Korea. The Presidential National Security Advisor Kim Jang-soo discussed tightening the country's air defense and surveillance with the Ministers of Defense, Unification, and Foreign Affairs. One of the unmanned aerial vehicles found earlier contained photos of military installations and Seoul's presidential compound and was found to be capable of carrying almost up to 1 kilogram in payload. And U.S. President Barack Obama is set to visit Korea for 2 days on the 25th of this month, following a 3-day state visit to Japan. While in Seoul, President Obama will hold summit talks with President Park Geun-hye, where the two are expected to reaffirm the alliance between the two countries and a commitment to security on the peninsula. This will also likely discuss the denuclearization issue of North Korea and how to smooth out problems regarding the implementation of the Korea-U.S. Free Trade Agreement, which went into effect 2 years ago. This is President Obama's 4th visit to Korea since taking office in 2009, and following his trip to Seoul, he'll head to Malaysia and the Philippines.
A strong earthquake measuring 8.2 on the Richter scale rattled the coast of northern Chile on Wednesday, triggering a tsunami and 2-meter-high waves on the shores. We'll get the numbers of casualties and more updates on this story with our Eunice Kim joining us from the news center. Eunice, what is the situation like over there now?
Good morning, Min-jung. That's right. Thousands of rattled Chileans are returning home this morning as the country has called off the tsunami alert. So far, a total of 6 people have been confirmed dead, 4 of them by heart attack and 2 crushed, according to officials. That's a relatively low death toll given the magnitude of this earthquake, 8.2, as you said, and this is being credited to preparedness and strict building codes for the area that is prone to earthquakes as it does sit on the so-called Ring of Fire. There were power outages, fires, and landslides, but the worst hit areas appear to have avoided suffering significant damage. Some 928,000 people were evacuated yesterday, according to the director of Chile's National Emergency Office, with more than 2,500 homes sustaining serious structural damage in those areas around the northern port city of Iquique.
And I understand that the tsunami scared travels thousands of miles away to Hawaii and possibly all the way to Tokyo and Korea even.
Right. It will be limited and likely barely felt here, though. Hawaiians were warned of possible sea level changes and strong currents, while the Japanese Weather Authority just earlier this morning issued a tsunami alert, saying it could see a tsunami of up to 1 meter today, and a weaker wave could arrive in Korea after that. And that was your update on the Chilean earthquake. I'll be back with more international news a little bit later.
Following a move from the U.S. state of California, preparations are underway in Australia to erect a memorial statue commemorating the so-called Comfot Women who fell victim to sexual slavery by Japan during World War II. The Korean and Chinese communities in the city of Strathfield have submitted a proposal earlier this week to the city council to put up the statue. And the latest on this is the city council saying it will further consult with the state and federal government on the issue. For more on what efforts are being made by the Korean community there, we now connect live to Mr. Song Seok-jun, president of the Korean Society of Sydney. Good morning, Mr. Song.
Good morning.
We heard that the move to establish the so-called Comfot Women statue is facing strong opposition from the Japanese community in Australia as well as in Tokyo. How is the general mood there?
It is not a surprising thing at all. We expected such harassment and interruption from Japanese through email bombardment to State Council, Sydney City Council, and the various medias. But we did not expect the Japanese will bring 4 speakers at the Strathfield City Council meeting to oppose our proposal, including 2 Australians who must be employed lobbyists by Japanese government. But we'll never give up our task to erect the statue of world sex slaves here in Sydney. We'll continue our fighting against the militant Japanese government until we achieve our goal. We think our job is very serious comparing to the independent fighters in Manchu during Japanese occupation time in early 20th century.
Now, it could be a long fight ahead of you. Could you briefly tell us how the Korean and Chinese communities there came together to make this proposal?
When Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has visited Yasukuni Shrine, we Korean Chinese community were very upset about it. First, the Chinese community started to send emails to Australian politicians against it. But they didn't get good response from Australian politicians. Then we have decided to work together to give more pressure to Australian politicians. Since then, actually, it is working very well. We are all very happy with our great achievement on this campaign. When we have heard about Japanese anti-gender or Comfot Woman statue campaign to demolish it, we was not happy at all with their ugly attitude, so we decided to help our fellow Korean Americans by making more Comfot Woman statues in Australia. By doing it, we'll make them apologize for their war crime. If they refuse it, they'll be more isolated internationally. This is our strategy and aim on this campaign.
Right, and it was earlier this week when a spokesperson of the Japanese embassy in Australia claimed that the move to put up the statue comes from a lack of understanding of the Japanese government's position. What do you make of his remarks?
They claim that we are causing trouble in our peaceful community. They claim that this statue will divide our communities. I would ask them that who made this kind of trouble first. It is their Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. They'd better ask Mr. Abe to change his militant mind. He's trying to turn history back to Second World War time and the examining a colonial statement. They keep changing their minds all the time. It is very difficult to trust Abe cabinet statement made recently. His cabinet members keep saying that they are examining the process, how the colonial statement has been made. I think they are still examining colonial statement itself because they think this statement is very shameful one to them.
And what many say they want is a proper acknowledgement of history and a sincere apology from the Japanese government instead of such comments. Now, as I mentioned earlier, a request on the statue was submitted to the City Council. Could you tell us what went on during the meeting?
Yeah, we had a meeting on Tuesday on 1st April. There were a few hundred of crowd. Most of them were Koreans, Chinese, Japanese, some Australians. There were many journalists from 3 countries and Australian local newspapers as well. This was one of the biggest council meetings in Strathfield Council history. We have worked very hard to get number to win from 7 councillors. We got at least 5 of them through hard work. We are very confident to win easily on Tuesday night. But surprisingly, Japanese brought 4 speakers against our proposal. This proposal take a longer time than we expected. I have talked yesterday with a few councillors. They told me all of them was in favor of our proposal. They will take legal advice with their solicitor through state government, with the federal government for 3 sisters statues legality. I do not think there will be much problem at all. This 3 sisters statue will be a symbolic monument of the women human rights movement in Australia, who used to be discriminated by men in long human being history in almost all countries. We would like to prevent any violence against women dignity in wartime or peacetime because they are our wives, daughters, sisters, mothers.
Right. Well,
I appreciate very much for your concern and the support on our campaign.
Right. Well, I'm sure many people here in Korea and in Australia are throwing their support behind your campaign, and we'll be looking forward to updates on this issue. Thank you for your time today, Mr. Song.
Good morning. Now let's run through the front pages of your newspapers. And today we'll begin with news regarding the drones that I was showing you pictures of yesterday. They have been confirmed to be from North Korea. Let's have a look at this headline on 동아일보 first. And the headline reads, 청와대 wide open to the possibility of terror attack from North Korea. Now, you heard in the headlines earlier, the South Korean government has in effect concluded that the 2 drones recently found near the border with North Korea were indeed from the reclusive neighbor. And this has prompted the military to seek measures to tighten airspace security. And the sub-headlines say that these drones can be utilized for the purpose of conducting acts of terrorism if they have bombs installed on them. Now, the drone that was discovered in Paju on March 24th was found to contain photos of key areas in the south, as you heard earlier in the headlines, indicating there are holes in the air defense of the presidential office and border areas as well. There seems to be no way as of now on how to detect these small unmanned aircrafts by radar before they closely approach the Cheongwade area. And the paper adds that the Defense Ministry has pledged to work together with other related agencies to draw up measures to defend the country against such drones. And now let's go on to a front page image here on 중앙일보. And it's of the North Korean leader. The picture title says, Kim Jong-un delivers speech sporting shades at Mount Baekdusan. And North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has vowed to triumph over the United States' hostile policies in a speech made yesterday to military officers at Mount Baekdusan, which is also a symbol of the Kim family's hereditary leadership. And there he is with his glasses on there. And let's go to this piece of news here. In the meantime, on to the side regarding General Motors. And the headline says that General Motors, the lesson of 57 cents. And regulators said GM executives came under fire as the U.S. House Committee on Energy and Commerce released new details of its investigation into the events leading up to GM's recall for ignition switch defects, now linked to at least 13 deaths. And GM's newly installed Chief Executive Officer Mary Barra has confessed herself that she did not know why GM was unable to correct its defective parts earlier, which cost about 57 cents each and discovered 10 years ago, leading to those tragic deaths. So the lesson has been learned the hard way for GM as it belatedly acknowledged its defects. And let's go on to 조선일보 now. We'll take a look at this headline at the bottom here. We'll enlarge that. And the headline says, the top court to abolish system of regional judges, no new appointments to be made. To give you some background information on this, the nation's top court yesterday accepted the resignation of a senior judge here in Korea, the chief of the Gwangju District Court, who held himself accountable for allowing the former chairman of the now defunct Daeju Group to pay off huge amounts of fines just through 5 days of manual labor at a prison facility. And in light of this, the Supreme Court has decided to abolish a system of regional judges that has been rampant in Korea for a decade now within the first half of this year. And moving on to Gyeongyang Shinmun for some international news, we'll take a look at this picture here. You heard about it earlier, too, in the headlines. The residents that have taken flight in light of the earthquake in Chile. The picture title says, powerful Chile earthquake of magnitude 8.2. Residents evacuate to higher lands. So after an offshore earthquake triggered a tsunami alert in Chile, evacuation was underway for thousands of residents. And these Chileans fled the coastal areas as they spent the night in the hills, as you see here in the picture, waiting for daylight. And let's come back to some domestic news here on Mail Business newspaper. It's the one at the bottom, so we'll enlarge that one. And the headline says, Korea seeks to become yuan financial hub. And Financial Services Commission's chairman Shin Jae-yoon said he will develop a plan to transform Korea into a yuan financial hub in a bid to elevate the Korean financial industry to the next level. He said it's not easy to make Korea a hub of yuan transactions, but it needs to be done given the size of trade, as he was speaking at the Korea-UK Financial Forum held in London, UK Tuesday local time. And to facilitate the settlement of trade in yuan, the Korean government will closely consult with the Chinese government over issues such as designating a yuan currency settlement bank. And that was a look at your newspaper headlines for this Thursday. And coming up are the stock numbers from Wednesday.
Let's now get a check on the weather. We are expecting some rain today, and I'm afraid that the flower petals will all fall off, the cherry blossoms.
That is something that you might be concerned about. It does have a way of bringing down the petals, but apparently it's not that much rain. But just in case, we'll show you. Chun Song-cho is out there on Yunjungro Road to show you some of the flowers.
All right.
Good morning, Song-cho. You look beautiful.
Good morning, guys. I'm reporting live from Yeouido Yeongdeungpo-gu, Seoul, where Spring Flower Festival is taking place from today until 13th. Look at these cherry blossoms in full bloom. Every time the wind blows, the petals fall off like flurries of snow, creating a magnificent view. Yesterday was a perfect day to admire these beautiful flowers all around, but if you were too lazy and just ended up staying home yesterday, thinking that it'll be another sunny day today, then I do feel bad for you. It seems like goodbye to the sunshine and midday highs above 20 for a while. Well, in fact, we have rain and even snow in some parts of the nation for today's forecast. Well, what can I say? This is what spring's all about, right? Fickle and unpredictable. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at today's weather forecast for today. Notice a significant drop in those numbers between yesterday and today as a mass of cold air in the upper atmosphere gradually descends in the afternoon. It's going to feel a lot chillier, especially with cloudy skies and gusty winds. And not to mention rainfall. Though it's only a few sprinkles, not more than 5 millimeters, mainly concentrating around the central regions, these sprinkles may turn into snow on the mountains of Gangwon-do province, piling up to 7 centimeters. That's all for me reporting live from Yeouido. Back to you, Min-jung, in the studio.
The Chilean earthquake is the biggest global news at this hour, but let's go ahead and get a check of other headlines from around the world. We'll go back to our Eunice Kim. Good morning again. It looks like the cost of the crisis in Ukraine is being calculated not only in political terms, but in economic terms as well.
That's right, Minjung. IMF Managing Director Christine Lagarde said the East-West standoff over Ukraine is already showing signs of pressure on the Russian economy and could pose a threat to the global economy, already, quote, too weak for comfort. Now, in Washington, Lagarde said talk of sanctions against Russia has had their effect when you look at the growing capital outflow and the change in Russia's monetary policy. Russian policymakers raised borrowing costs in March to their highest level since 1998. Now, on the military level, NATO's military chief Philip Breedlove warned Russian troops were ready to move into Ukraine within 12 hours of a given order. He told CNN 40,000 troops are amassed in their border, supported by aircraft and all the logistics required for a successful incursion.
And turning now to France, President François Hollande has reshuffled his cabinet and following a blow at Sunday's local elections. And among the new ministers is his ex-partner. Interesting.
Right, and the mother of his 4 children as well. Ségolène Royal and President Hollande met in graduate school, actually, and were in a relationship for 3 decades, but were never married. She's been tapped as the Environment and Energy Minister, and she is no stranger to politics. She served as Education and Family Minister under François Mitterrand and ran a presidential campaign in 2007, losing to Nicolas Sarkozy. Now, Hollande also placed other prominent socialists in his cabinet, including Michael Sapin as finance minister, in a move apparently meant to balance his earlier choice of Manuel Valls, a right-winger, as his new prime minister. And with that, we will wrap your look at the international news we're following this morning.
And coming up later on Korea Today, it's the gateway to Korea, Incheon International Airport, but it's proving itself to be more than just from experiencing Korean traditional cultures to finding hidden spots to enjoy. We show you how to indulge in Incheon International Airport.
Documentaries tell a story of facts, and it can also open your eyes to a brand new viewpoint. And Korean documentaries have been invited to many different stages around the globe in film festivals. And our Im Yoon-hee joins us with more on Korean documentaries. Good morning.
Good morning. So let's talk about one of these festivals. It's taking place in France. It's called Focus Korea, and it's a film festival taking place in France that features Korean documentaries. And so the reason they made this is because of the demand for Korean culture and Korean documentaries in France. And so they have 20 films this year, and it's the first of its kind. And 2 of those films are from Arirang by director Lee Hong-gi. So with that said, let's take a look. It's been over 3 years since the meltdown at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant in northeastern Japan. And for the first time since, people are being allowed back to their homes. But what about 20 years down the line? Or even 30 years? Measures have been taken to reduce the effects of one of the most disastrous nuclear accidents in history, but no one knows for certain what might happen next. This documentary takes a closer look at Fukushima and compares it to the meltdown of Chernobyl in 1986. Although it's been more than 25 years, the effects can still be seen today in and around the neighboring areas of Chernobyl, but one can only guess the extent of the damage. The meltdown of Fukushima is considered to be on the same level of Chernobyl, and with Korea only a few hundred kilometers away, it's inevitable that Korea will be affected in some way or another. Filmed in 2013, Lee Hong-gi looks to Chernobyl, still a ghost town, and still radioactively hot, for lessons. He compares what happened there to what might happen to Fukushima as the years go on, and only hopes to give Koreans an insight into what to expect for the future and how to minimize the damage.
Documentaries really do have that power of opening your eyes to a certain viewpoint that's presented by the director. Now, what about the second documentary?
So the second one is also by Lee Hong-gi, and it follows the story of a grandma. And this one is a little bit of a sad tale, but like the first one, it does open our eyes to issues that we deal with. So let's take a look. With the hustle and bustle of Seoul, people often forget about the elderly left in the countryside. In Splendid Sad Days, Lee Hong-gi takes a look at this social issue as he follows a story of an elderly grandma who lives in a remote fishing village of Suncheon Bay. She lives day to day, fishing and working in the fields, trying to make ends meet. The documentary follows her through the tiresome days as she endures harassments from her alcoholic and abusive husband. And after his sudden death, she cries for the first time in 70 years. In an attempt to keep going, she reaches out to others.
Seems like a very touching story of growing old and also growing old alone by yourself. Right. And now let's talk about the documentaries in Korea, the scene of documentaries and documentaries in Korea in general. What kind of a history have we gone through?
So the documentaries here in Korea, so there's basically broken down to 3 waves. So the first one took place in the early 1900s, but those documentaries focused more on the scenery of Korea, and that was mainly due to the oppression of media here in Korea at that time. Now the second wave took place in the mid-1900s, and that one dealt a lot with war propaganda, also due to the condition of Korea at that time as well. And the last third wave took hold during the 80s, and that one dealt a lot with social interventions. And the people who made those documentaries at that time were pretty young in terms of age, and so those people are still making documentaries to this day. And so a lot of documentaries you see now out of Korea still deal a lot with social intervention. And
we're also seeing an increase of documentaries being produced in Korea as well, right?
Exactly.
Many young directors out there wanting to tell that story.
So it's an expanding field here.
All right, Uni, thank you very much for this.
My pleasure.
And by the way, nice hair.
Oh,
and speaking of which, we're going to get a look at hair and what it can do for your whole complete look. Now, still ahead, hair can make all the difference to your look. Are you looking for a transformation in hairstyles? We see Jeniffer Kim over there. She is working on preparing our model's hair for some curls that she's going to be giving later on Korea Today. So the beautiful curls to perfect glossy straight hair, we have some great suggestions.
And it's time to take a look at the issues that has been gripping the online community since yesterday.
Some of the keywords that people clicked on the most throughout the day were Miss A member Susie, who put herself on the map by doing an amazing ceremonial first pitch, will throw the first ball for the LA Dodgers in May. The earthquake in Chile also grabbed people's attention, and online users also looked up areas restricted for the filming of the Avengers Age of Ultron.
That's right. Let's first talk about Susie from girl group Miss A. She lingered in the top rankings throughout the day following an announcement that she will throw the first pitch for the LA Dodgers versus the Cincinnati Reds baseball game that will be held on May 27th at the LA Dodgers Stadium in the U.S.
And one of the main reasons that the online community was particularly interested in this story is because Korean monster pitcher Ryu Hyun-jin is also part of the LA Dodgers team, and recently Suji and Ryu showed their mutual support for each other when Suji cheered for Ryu and his team during a clothing brand PR event. And Ryu, who is known to be an avid fan of Suji, also mentioned in a recent interview that he would like to have Suji throw the first ball for one of his games.
Yes. So the two also appeared as guests in a popular entertainment program last year and seemed very close.
That's right, a budding romance, possibly.
Yes, possibly. And now we have to see how well Ryu Hyun-jin will throw in his first in the game after Suji pitches.
Especially when Suji is watching. Yes. Right? Many online users were also talking about the announcement made by Microsoft, saying it will end its support for Windows XP starting next week on April 8th.
That's right. Since its first release back in 2001, Microsoft's Windows XP has supported millions of computer users worldwide for more than a decade. However, as this program has maximized its MS product lifespan policy of the years of regular support and another 5 for extended support, no more support services will be available for Windows XP.
While core security services will be available until July 14th, Windows XP's automatic updates flights and technical assistance will no longer be available. So if users continue to use this version, their computers will be exposed to possible malware and viruses. So
that's right. So Microsoft is recommending its customers to upgrade to Windows 8.1 as it's the most compatible version out of the latest OS.
That's right. So get that done if you have time today. That's it for today's news sum up. We'll have more search words to share with you tomorrow. But first, sports highlights coming up with SJ.
And a good Thursday morning to you all as we kick things off with the Incheon Asian Games. Of course, with the event taking place later this year, the organizers are now asking for the help of the IOC in regards to North Korea's participation. Now, Kim Young-soo, the president of the organizing committee for the Incheon Asian Games, met with the president of the IOC, Thomas Bach, and asked for his help in making sure North Korea participates in the upcoming Asian Games. While North Korea has stated that they will participate in some of the events, organizers want to make sure it will happen amid the North-South tensions going on in the peninsula. And moving over to Game 1 of the KBL Championship Series between the Ulsan Mobis Phoebus and the Changwon LG Sakers. Of course, going into the game here, Mobis off to a hot start, taking a 24-11 lead before LG rallies in the second quarter, cut the deficit to 36-33 going into halftime. LG continues far away from the paint as they outscore Mobis 27-19, take a 60-55 lead going into the fourth quarter. Despite Davon Jefferson and his 27 points and 9 rebounds, Mobis comes back in the fourth quarter to take Game 1, 77-74. And sticking with the championship series, but over in Game 4 of the Women's V-League Championship Series between the GS Caltex and IBK Altos, with IBK one win away from back-to-back championships. But that's not going to happen easily as GS Caltex's blocking game stops IBK's offense all throughout the night as Bethania de la Cruz de Peña explodes with a championship record of 54 points on the night, helping GS Caltex take this match 3-1 to force this to a decisive Game 5. And now shifting over to some Wednesday night's KBO action as the NC Dinos beat the Kia Tigers 8-7 with LG all over SK 8-3 and the Hanwha Eagles crushing the Samsung Lions 10-5. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the Tucson Bears take on the Nexen Heroes. Of course, our good friend here, Chris Fullest, looking for his first win here in Korea as Jorge Cantu in the second inning of the game drills this one to deep left field, gone a solo shot. And it's 1-0 Tucson. Same inning men on second and third, Yang Yi-ji this time through the left side, and it's 2-0. Next play, Kim Jae-ho flies out to right. A sac fly makes it 3-0. But the bottom of the inning, bases loaded, pass ball scores Park Byung-ho, and it's 3-1. Fourth inning, Nexen starts rallying once again. Moon Woo-nam singles to left, and now it's 3-2. Shifting over to the fifth inning, Min Byung-hun sends this to deep right, just over the wall, makes it 4-2. Next inning here is Yang E-ji deep to straightaway center field, and that's gone as Tucson scores 2 more times in the inning for a 7-2 lead. Seventh inning, this time more home run. This time Lee Sung-yeol drives this one to deep right, and it's gone. But wait, next batter, Moon Woo-nam, it's deja vu all over again. Back-to-back solo shots, but no matter as the Tucson Bears hold on to win this game 9-5, with Chris Fullest earning his first win in Korea. And now finishing things off with some AFC Champions League group stage results and a great night for the K-League Classic teams as the Pohang Steelers beat Shandong Luneng 4-2, with Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors beating the mighty Guangzhou Evergrande 1-0. So with that said, that's going to wrap it up for me. This has been SJ. Have a great rest of the day and see you guys again for your sports needs.
Incheon International Airport welcomes 120,000 people on average per day and some 40 million visitors annually, setting the first impression of Korea.
I love it.
Today, let's explore Korea's first port of entry, Incheon International Airport, and find out about all the hidden secrets.
You are going to want to travel after this segment on Korea Discovered today because we're taking you to Incheon International Airport with Joey Marquidante. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I think most tourists are aware of Incheon International Airport. I just don't think they know it as well as I do now and how cool it really is. You know, it's been kind of renamed by some people as Incheon Culture Airport. So today, let's take a look at why it's such a fascinating place and how to get the maximum experience when you're at Incheon International Airport.
All right, you tell us, we'll follow your lead.
Yeah. Incheon International Airport is located in Korea's western port city of Incheon. One of the things during the dreaded layover doesn't have to mean countless hours of watching the clock tick. There's actually a lot of fun to be had at an airport, especially this airport, Incheon Airport. So come with me today and I'll share a few tips and a few fun things to do right here at Incheon. Come on, follow me. So one of the things people dread most at an airport is, of course, waiting.
Yep.
But instead, how about enjoying various traditional Korean cultures and shows? At the center of the 4th floor passenger terminal is the Korean Cultural Street.
Wow, that's a Korean
traditional
door.
design. Wow. Here, a traditional Korean garden greets travelers and folk song ensembles and performances are played for passers-by.
Oh, wow, I've never seen that. That's beautiful.
That's something that even Koreans would love to enjoy.
And suddenly, loud, cheerful tunes ring out in the quiet airport. This is a reenactment of the king and queen from the Joseon dynasty taking a walk. A sight not to be missed.
Do we have to bow to him?
Yeah, you can.
That would be nice if you did.
The Korean Culture Museum is another great stop where visitors can get a glimpse of the beauty of Korean arts and culture. From royal culture, arts, music, to printing styles, people can experience and learn about Korea's cultural heritage. Wouldn't it be great to catch a movie or work out at a gym while waiting for your next flight?
Sure. And so enjoy some popcorn.
Yeah.
An ice forest.
외국인 많이 오나요?
Yes, we get a lot of foreign visitors who are fascinated that there's an ice rink in the airport and eager to check it out.
Well, look no further. On the ground floor, travelers can use an indoor ice skating rink all year round. Enjoy your time waiting with a quick ice skating session at the airport. I've heard of shopping malls with ice rinks in them, but never airports. This is amazing!
Is that real ice? Right. That's a good question, actually. Is that real
Yeah, it's not
ice?
exactly real ice, but it feels like real ice. As you can see right here behind me, there's a concert going on in just a few minutes, and it looks like it's going to be really special, so I'm going to get my seat. Here at the Millennium Hall, passengers can also enjoy some music with popera, as well as many different musical performances all year round.
So much going on at Incheon International Airport.
Doesn't that just like look and feel like a live concert?
It's almost like a culture center. You just get to go and you don't really have to take the plane and go anywhere.
What did you think of the concert? And what do you think of Incheon Airport?
Incheon has been the best experience that we've had. It's the best airport we've ever been in. So much live entertainment, very clean, very courteous people, free transit tours, the very best.
And for those who have to spend long hours at the airport waiting for their next flight, a healing, relaxing spot is very much desirable. And there's a transit hotel located on the 4th floor exactly for that reason.
Oh, that's when you're in transit in between flights.
Yeah.
You really want to take a shower in between.
You just get some Z's.
What about a spa massage? It's a great way to get yourself refreshed after long hours of travel.
Wow.
While you're
Aptly named Spa
Yes,
on Air.
Spa on Air. And you can experience traditional Korean baths and saunas and get yourself ready for your next flight.
Everything you would expect from a Korean spa is right here in Incheon.
absolutely perfect.
You're so relaxed.
I am so Also, don't forget to try out the Hub Lounge on the 4th floor at the passenger terminal. Here, business and economy travelers can enjoy 36 various chef-made dishes and other convenient facilities for just $35 and experience first-class service. And a useful tip for passengers. Did you know there are a lot of facilities that you can enjoy for free? Many of us rely on our electronic gadgets to keep ourselves occupied while waiting for our next connecting flight. But a lot of the times we're hit with that low battery warning. But no need to worry, because here, passengers can recharge their batteries for free. And they also provide different adapters to meet the needs of all international travelers. Have you ever panicked because you have had to take an urgent business matter online right before boarding? Well, you won't need to worry anymore, because here, anyone can visit the internet cafe and surf the web free of charge. Plus, all visitors can access the airport's free Wi-Fi and use it on their mobile phones and laptops.
Unlike a lot of other airports, I was able to connect right to Wi-Fi, and it's fast. It's fast and easy. I'm about to Skype with my wife.
I was on my tablet. I actually just put it away, but
so the Wi-Fi, you guys
yes,
very happy with that?
Yeah, that's another good thing. Wi-Fi, outlets for my computer. Yeah.
Incheon Airport makes sure their passengers have plenty of things to do. And you've seen some of them today, but there's even more to do. So come and check out Incheon for yourself. And while you're here, make sure you check out my recommendations.
I'll definitely be doing that when I run out of data on my phone, on my smartphone. I could just go over there and get free Wi-Fi. There's a lot of free things over there. Now, there's a lot of other countries that are building their new airports, and they're benchmarking Seoul's or Incheon's International Airport. Now, how was the experience for you going over there? I mean, did you know that all these facilities were there at your disposal before?
Well, I had a slight idea, but no. I mean, it's just this vast, endless amount of facilities for you. So no, I don't think most people know how amazing it is. And there's still more. I mean, the report showed only maybe 70% of what you can do. There's still more.
There is more. In fact, there is a medical clinic where you can get a checkup on your body as well.
Yes.
It's quite, that's a lot of things to do.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, you can get it. There's a jet lag clinic.
A jet lag clinic.
So you can refresh before. And then another service to take note of is quick dry cleaning service. You can get alterations done. If you have a layover, a long layover, and you've got heavy baggage, you don't want to lug it around the airport, you can just drop it off, and just for a fee of $10, they'll keep it there for you until your flight.
But the most important thing is, how do you get there? How did the visitors get there? So
to the airport.
Yes.
Yes, there are 9 airport shuttle buses, and once you buy a ticket for them on the first floor, they can take you to and from Incheon International Airport, and then they'll also take you to Seoul, Incheon, and surrounding areas in the Gyeonggi-do province.
And there's a website you can check out also.
Yes, of course. Check out the website for more transit information.
Yeah, one of the very convenient things about the limousine bus or the transportation is that when you actually go to the freeway, there is a toll fee that you have to pay on the way there if you're going there privately, but this is all included in there, so very convenient.
All included in the price, and the seats are very comfortable. You can just sit back and relax for
You know, something tells me that soon enough, people will be coming to Incheon International Airport to enjoy the airport.
Yeah, why don't you just go over there and have lunch today?
I mean, people do that. It's a date spot. You know, there are people going there for dates.
And it's a very good driving course to Incheon International Airport.
Yes, it's a great place.
All right, well, sounds great, Joey. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us and our viewers all this information on the facilities of Incheon International Airport.
You're very welcome. Until next time.
All right.
the light breezy weather and bright coloured clothes, different hairdos that will go with this spring season are receiving a lot of attention. Following last year's popular 고준이 bob hair, this spring a different style cut is emerging as a trend. Also thanks to Jeon Ji-hyun's successful comeback in her TV drama, her long straight hair and hairdo using a scarf is in style this season as well. So here are some helpful spring hairstyle tips for a complete makeover.
And on today's K-Style, we have some quick and easy hairstyling tips for this blossoming spring season. And as you saw in our show earlier, Jennifer is busy doing the hair with model.
Yeah, she was doing the prep work, but I was wondering, you haven't changed your hairstyle for a while,
I know.
right?
So I'm really looking forward to this
Okay, we'll get some tips for you as well, and we'll take it over to Minjung, who's over there.
I think Jinju should have been here, not me. But we are going to have some hair fun today with Jeniffer Kim joining us as always, and she's already worked some magic into this model's hair. It was straight before, but now it's curly.
That's right. It was completely straight before, and she's actually got quite a lot of hair, so I've been working on it while you've been talking about all that culture things. So basically, I've completely changed her look simply using these simple hair straighteners, and it's really important that you use ones that are rounded. So let me show you how to do this. You can achieve curls using a straightener simply by taking about 1 inch thickness of hair. It depends how much hair you have, but usually that would work. Get your hair straightener, put it at about 30-degree angle away from your face, and then curl it downwards, just taking it down slowly, like so. And I'm just going to use my fingers to reinforce the curl. And then we've got a natural, beautiful wave. Let me show you one more time. So taking another strand, so these are little strands that I've left out to show you how to do it. Taking it at 30-degree angle, taking it downwards, and you can also experiment with different types of curls as well. The slower you take it down, the tighter your curls will be.
Okay, so slower, it'll give you tighter curls. If you go faster, it'll give loose.
More natural curls.
Okay.
That's right.
Right, got it.
So with that, our hair is complete, not makeup. And you want to spray your hair as well because the curls can actually come down due to gravity during the day. So making sure that you cover your face. Just going to spray those curls in place. Like
and the curls will stay this way throughout the whole day if you spray the curls.
Yep, definitely. And it also tames the frizz as well. So then we've got a complete transformation from the straight hair look that she came into the studio with. And that was all done using these simple hair straighteners. So really good tip. You can also use hair straighteners to add volume to the roots as well. If you like, just simply take a layer of the hair and get your hair straightener, put it as close to the scalp as possible, and then curl it upwards and outwards. I won't do it on your hair now because I don't want to ruin it.
The concept seems to be similar to kind of putting curls on a ribbon on those gift boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
That's an interesting analogy, I must say, Young.
Yeah, my mom used to do that all the time.
But you have brought with you a video clip, right?
That's right. So this is just one type of hairstyle. There's many other easy hairstyles that you can try at home to brighten up this spring season. So let's have a look at these.
What kind of quick and easy hairstyles are there to try out at home? First, let's try out a natural wavy look perfect for spring using a curling iron. For full lush curls, hold however much hair you want and curl it from ear length, then curl the bottom part again. The fuller the waves, the more feminine and graceful you look. But if you're opting for a more bubbly image, you can start curling your hair closer to your roots. What do you think? Fitting curls for this season?
I'm going to show you how to create bangs for those who don't have any without getting a haircut.
First, starting from the ear up, tie the upper part of your hair as high as you can. Then pull down the ponytail frontwards. Put on your hat and finish off by naturally curling your hair with a curling iron. By using a hat and bangs, you can create a fashionable and lively look.
For those who have long hair wanting to change up their style but are too scared to cut their hair, you can use this great tip.
Equally part your hair down the middle, then tie the far ends. Roll it in half as if you're folding it, then secure your hair with bobby pins. And smooth out any unnatural spots. With this, you now have a bob cut created with your long hair, and there's no need to go to a hair salon for this new style. Try out a colourful and dynamic hair colour without damaging your hair, using hair chalk. Simply spray water on the part you want to add some colour, then rub on the hair chalk. It's unbelievably simple. Hair chalk is sold in many places and easy to wash out with shampoo, so try it out on that special day. Spring is a time for change, so how about checking out a new look with these simple styling tips?
So I've decided to kick the model out and sit here myself because I want a hair makeover.
Of course, we can't miss out on making over Minjong.
What I like about these hairstyles is that it's so versatile, and
That's
women
right.
can be fickle when it comes to a bit of a pickle, right? Women can be fickle
Definitely.
at times when it comes to your hairstyles,
Yep.
and sometimes you want it long, sometimes you want it short. So, but with these styles, you can just go bam,
That's right. You don't even have to go to the hairdresser. You don't have to risk things. There's so many different things you can try out, and not just what we've just shown you, but let me just show you a couple of other things that you could do with your hair accessories.
Ooh,
now, there are
I
a
like
bunch of
those.
different things out on the market, but I wanted to show you these. I'm sure you recognize these from Lady Gaga. They're basically just bobby pin style pins. And
if we can show
Yep.
it to our viewers like this, look at this.
different
How neat is this,
colors,
right?
different sizes, and I'll show you how easy it is to apply this.
So the idea is to put it up on your hair like this?
Yeah.
So the idea is that they're made of hair,
If it's the same color as the hair,
right?
it would be perfect.
Right.
But
It
I'll
looks
show you
like
how to
you
do
have a
it.
ribbon on your hair.
Simply just take it and secure it into place.
That's perfect.
Like so, if we can get
That's
the front
so
view.
cute.
There we go.
Right.
So it's good for
very
costume
lovely.
parties, maybe if you're going to a theme park with your boyfriend. Yeah, not just
Sure.
these, but there are also clip-on bangs and clip-on accessories. These are called pyeomori. It's basically a pre-braided hairstyle. And it's got a simple clip at the back, which you can just secure onto your hair, and then you can do all sorts of hairstyles with this. Not just these, but there are also
They come in
band
different
styles,
colors as well,
which
I've
you don't need to
noticed.
clip on. And celebrities use these all the time when they're just going out for a casual day and they just want to do their hair up in moments.
And you can use that clip-on ponytails
Finally,
for you.
I'm sure you've all experienced those times when you were wondering whether you would suit bangs or not, but you didn't want to go out and cut it.
That is the million-dollar question that women ask themselves all the time. Bangs or no bangs, right?
That's right. Well, why don't you try checking out these kind of clip-on bangs and just test it out yourself before you cut your hair. It's clip-on, so it's really, really simple. You just have to unclip it and simply place it onto your hair and cover that hair area with the rest of your hair. It's really simple.
And you can cut the bangs if it's too long,
Yeah, you
right?
can cut it yourself too.
Okay, all right. Well, give me a makeover because I've been sitting here waiting for this makeover.
Okay.
Especially because my hair is short, I can't do much with it.
Have you ever wanted long hair?
Of course, but it will take some time for it to grow long. I just recently got a haircut, kind of regretting it, but
no,
so
it
what
looks
do I
great.
do now?
Okay, could I just get you to tie your hair maybe?
Okay, all right, will do.
Maybe about mid-height or
Mid-height.
Higher height. Maybe, yeah, mid-height would be great.
So this is going to be a simple, just one click.
I will show you in a moment what is going to happen to Minjong.
There we go.
So if
I've
we could
tied
get
my hair.
Could we please get a side view of her so you can see before? And I'm just going to fix the area. And basically, this wig is a clip-on wig. You just have to clip it on to above the hair tie.
That's it.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Cover everything.
That took 1 second. Oh, wow.
And
Hey, I
You
think
look so
I look
gorgeous.
You
gorgeous.
dropped about 10 years off it, right?
Gorgeous.
They're going to start asking you for ID now.
This is perfect. I can do the news with the hair off like this, and when it's time to party, just put it on and go, voila.
So gorgeous. Definitely.
I'm a head turner now, I think.
You look really good with long hair.
All right, well, thank you so much. That was a look at the different hairstyles today. This is a lot of fun. Jinju, I think really next time you should sign on to that.
It looks great. It looks
Well,
great.
I hope you guys all enjoyed this and got some inspiration for some of the quick and easy hairstyles that you can try in your own home without even visiting the hairdressers. So I'll see you guys next week on K-Style here on Korea Today.
All right, thank you, Minjung and Jennifer. Jennifer, make sure you order one in black, dark black. Dark brown would be the color, right?
I didn't know it was so easy and simple to make my hair grow.
All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Korea Today.
We'll be seeing you tomorrow back here in the studio at 7 a.m. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.